Are you guys seeing what's happening right now? This is just freaking crazy. It's absolutely unbelievable what is happening with this whole Maui situation. Like, are you really believing what the media is telling us? Or maybe I should say what the media is not telling us. Like, it's been like almost 4 weeks now.
Almost 4 weeks since the Maui fires broke out, and firefighters are slowly making progress.
Since this Maui fire massacre took place, right? And like, the death toll, it keeps climbing, but at the same time, it's kind of being kept a secret. And where's all the kids? Like, did the kids get bussed out before the fires? How are there so many missing children without parents seemingly looking for them, or at least on TV being shared by the media looking for them, right? Like, where are they? Like, how is it possible that 2,000 children have gone missing? What's wrong with this picture here? Like, why aren't we seeing more panicked, freaking out parent? I mean, like, if I was a parent in Hawaii, in Maui, and one of my kids was missing, oh, I'd be raising all kind of hell.
33, we're tracking new developments regarding West Maui schools. Now, here are the latest stats from the Department of Education. Before the fire, there were 3,001 students enrolled in that area. Since then, 778 have re-enrolled in other schools. 874 have signed up for distance learning. 129 are now enrolled in charter or independent schools. 12 have withdrawn. Now, that leaves about 1,200 students that the DOE is actively trying to contact.
Like, what is going on? Like, what is the media trying to suppress here? Now, in recent times, like, various government incompetence, it's really been making light, and it's been leaving citizens just questioning the whole effectiveness of our elected representatives. You know, now one such example is the whole recent wildfire situation in Lahaina, over in Maui, Hawaii. And these wildfires, they spread so fast. I mean, it just completely took a toll on the community. And it made a lot of people just wondering, like, what is really going on? So much acreage has been destroyed, right? And, you know, in addition to that, you got thousands of acres of baller real estate holdings, very lavish real estate from, you know, celebrities like Oprah Winfrey, Jeff Bezos, Steven Tyler, Bill Gates, The Rock.
People are mad at Oprah and The Rock, as more than 60% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck.
That will put money directly in the hands of
Mark Zuckerberg, you know, like, just ridiculous mansions, 28, 30, 40 million dollar pieces of luxury real estate over here. And, you know, none of these properties have been damaged by the fires. How is it possible? And some of these properties have hundreds of acres. So they're not small plots of land that just so happen to be luckily uninvolved. All right. So it makes more and more people wonder, like, was this like coordinated? Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. I don't know, you know. But then you got some videos that are circulating around social media right now, you know, including, you know, individuals that are pointing to some very peculiar circumstances of, you know, that have taken place during this whole fire outbreak, like where nothing blue would catch fire, or like nothing blue burned. That's kind of odd, right? And then some witnesses have basically said that, you know, they were there. They were like personal accounts, and they're like, wow, how is it that nothing blue actually caught fire? I think that's kind of wild. But, you know, and these videos, you know, they're just anecdotes that add to the growing sense of unease maybe, surrounding all these events that are happening over in Lahaina. Now, this whole lack of transparency from the government agencies and authorities is only adding to these suspicions that many people have. accusations of a conspiracy to suppress information and keep the public in the dark. It's only gotten louder.
I think there's disasters, and they're going to continue to be disasters. I think we could better prepare where a disaster doesn't happen.
And McCarthy also made a little trip to Hawaii over the holiday weekend, visiting the wildfire-devastated communities of Maui. While there, he vowed the people of Hawaii would get the truth on what started the fire, why it grew out of control, why residents weren't notified faster, and what can be done in the future to prevent this type of devastation from ever happening again.
It's like they're intentionally trying to keep us from knowing what is really going on over there. And, you know, many of my viewers, many of you guys have family over there. And you guys are telling me what's really going on that the government is not telling us, that the media is not sharing with us, right? And as residents and observers continue to look for answers, in all honesty, the need for, you know, to open a thorough investigation becomes apparent, very apparent. So much is being hidden from us right now. You know, keeping a lot of these crucial details under wraps, you know, it's almost intentional. And that lawsuit that was filed by Maui County against what was that electric company, Hawaiian Electric, it raises more eyebrows. Did they de-energize the lines? Well, we later found out what happened with that.
Why didn't you shut off the power when the wind started to pick up?
As I said earlier, it's still in the early days. We're still looking at all the information, and we haven't actually had a chance to do all of that at this time.
With all due respect, it's been 6 days, though, so almost 6 days.
You may be talking about what happens in California in the shut-off program. And so we, like most utilities, don't have that program.
The allegations suggest that negligence in maintaining the power lines contributed to the fire's rapid spread. We now know that. While, of course, the blame of the fire falls on Hawaiian Electric at this point, or at least many people are blaming them, you know, the ownership of the company, I don't know if you guys noticed, but BlackRock and Vanguard own Hawaiian Electric. Both very influential investment management firms. And this further raises additional concerns. So, you know, that's big money there. I'm pretty sure BlackRock and Vanguard own substantial real estate in Maui as well. And whether they do or they don't, I wouldn't be surprised if they'd like to get their hands on even more valuable real estate in Maui. Is this a land grab? Many people think it is. And in the midst of this disaster, the public's skepticism has only expanded beyond the immediate fire-related events. People are now questioning the actions and the intentions of very prominent figures that were involved in the response effort. You got Maui's police chief, John Pelletier. He's coming under some pretty significant scrutiny due to his role as both the police chief and the coroner, and allegations of collecting the DNA of deceased Hawaiians. And these concerns, they only further fuel the suspicions of hidden agendas and a lack of transparency. And that's what this is all about. It's a lack of transparency, folks. And even beyond that, the media's portrayal of the disaster response has only been met with more and more skepticism. I mean, look at the deployment of FEMA, right? So FEMA officials and their choice of accommodations at these luxury resorts like Four Seasons have just caused significant outrage among the residents who feel neglected and unsupported. And this disconnect between, the experiences of those affected by the fires and the responses of the government agencies. I mean, look at Joe Biden and how he responded to the people of Maui. It just highlights the gap in communication and understanding and compassion, for that matter, right? I mean, like, the inefficiency of governments around the world has definitely raised some significant concerns among citizens. I mean, am I wrong? I mean, you got instances of mismanagement and a lack of effective communication. It's only gotten more and more evident. And I mean, look at this, right? What about Maui's state-of-the-art communication system, the alarm system, right? What happened to that? Like, it's just unbelievable. And the excuse that they gave us, right? Like, this is a failure of government agencies. This is a failure of government agencies. They failed to activate the alarm system, state-of-the-art alarm system in Maui, Hawaii during the recent wildfires. Why is that? And despite having one of the most advanced siren systems in the world, the alarm system did not sound the alert. How many lives could possibly have been saved by sounding those alarms? How many? Instead, very unreliable text messages were sent out. I mean, some people, like, do you check every text message you get the minute you get it? Like, some people are sleeping. You need something that's going to wake people up. Not a text message, hey, the island's burning down. No. Not at all. So this left many residents just completely unaware and unprepared for this impending danger. And, these missteps only underscore the need for more competent governance that can effectively respond to government agencies and be able to safeguard people's lives. And, although it's not confirmed, the sentiment does persist that there might be a lot more to the story than meets the eye. And, all I'm saying is, I think we have to dig deeper here. There's a lot of information that is literally being suppressed and kept from being released. I mean, like, these recent wildfires in, Lahaina, Maui, they have definitely raised some serious suspicions even beyond Maui. Like, why do these fires spread so rapidly? Why do they choose to spread in the direction that they did? Think about the 80-mile-an-hour winds that were taking place at that point. Like, how did they spread in the direction? They were like east or westerly winds, but yet it was spreading northward. Why is this? Like, and there's a lot of conspiracy theories around how they initiated, were they deliberately initiated? Was there some advanced technology that started these fires? Were the fires caused by some lasers from outer space? Were these government lasers that started the fires? Like, these are the questions that are coming up. And of course, the exact reasons have not necessarily been publicly disclosed. More and more evidence and information is being surfaced as to what possibly could have caused this thing, right? But the exact reasons have not been publicly disclosed. But the secrecy surrounding the causes have left residents and, people who are just following the story very, very closely. It leaves a lot of people just like wondering what the heck is going on here. And, I think if they were more transparent, it wouldn't be as bad, or at least it wouldn't. If they were more transparent, I don't think people would be digging as much because everything would be exposed. And then with the increasing concerns about climate change and human activity impacting these fire patterns, it becomes really, really important for government agencies to be a little bit more transparent and to investigate, and share their findings. Keeping critical information hidden from the public, it makes people not want to trust their government even more. So, the lack of information regarding missing children and minors, it remains a pressing issue as well. Where are the kids? FBI's statement the other day that there's no identified minors among the unaccounted and missing people, it just completely contradicts what a growing number of individuals are reporting. But again, these people ain't getting they're not getting the media time to be able to be heard. So hopefully my message gets out there that there are, people's voices out there who are not being heard at this time. The transparency needs to be there. It needs to be there. And then the connection between the disaster and the actions of government officials. You got Governor Josh Green. It adds to the complexity of this situation here. The passing of emergency proclamations, related to housing, and the suspicion of building codes also raises questions about the motivations and the consequences of some of these decisions, right? Does it not? And then, critics are arguing that the actions could actually be paving the way for significant transformation of the affected areas. Is this a land grab, right? If you wanted real estate, but you couldn't buy it because people didn't want to sell it, can you create a situation that allows you to get access to real estate that you normally wouldn't be able to buy because the residents of Maui were unwilling to sell? I mean, these are some of the questions that are coming up. And I think that they're legitimate questions. Some of these real estate investments could make millions, hundreds of millions of dollars, if not into the billions of dollars over the next 5 to 10 years. That's pretty attractive for a lot of people. I mean, last I looked on Zillow, you got single family residences out there in some parts of Maui that are going for $20 million, $30 million, $40 million. Now, of course, people want some of these properties for themselves, but then you got other companies, investment brokerages, hedge funds that would love to get their hands on this property, build out some commercial resort maybe, make a few $100 million a year. Your return on investment would be insane out there, especially if you could get your hands on this property that wasn't available before for pennies on the dollar in Lahaina, Maui, Hawaii. Think about it. Hawaii is not cheap. And if you can get that real estate on the cheap, hire some Hawaiians who are out of work because their whole town burned down, probably get that labor pretty cheap too. It's not fair, folks. It's not fair. But I'm gonna continue to keep you guys updated. Let me know what you guys think about what we're discussing today in the comments. And I look forward to hearing from you guys on the next one. Y'all be safe.